Hey, I'm Sydney.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Zoe.
And we chose the SciCom badge.
We had to write a newspaper article on a specific topic about DNA. We chose designer babies and we wrote the newspaper article about for the East Carolinian. So I guess our audience would be East Carolina and just college students in general.
We wanted our readers to know why we were against designer babies and how we think that putting $100,000 towards designer babies is just not worth it, and we believe that babies are just something that's just a natural process and that you shouldn't mess with it. You should just love the gift that you've created
instead of wasting all that money on something that could be used for their future, like college and house
exactly.
and stuff like that.
Is that what we just said?
Yeah.
Arrangement patterns.
So we broke down our essay into three main categories, like money, talents,
and then I did just future, like what will happen to them in the future and stuff.
So with the money part, we talked about
how extreme it is and how why would you want to do that in the first place, and what could be advantages of doing it and not doing it, and just being natural instead of.
And then for my part, I talked about talents and how the parents would put their wants and their talents on their child instead of letting their child grow up to be who they want to be.
And who they really are.
And who they really are, and it's more of putting their desires and their wants on their child instead of letting their child
instead of it be the miracle of life.
Yeah, kind of taking control of their child's life.
Yeah, and then I wrote about the primary aim to do this is to escape the diseases that could be passed on to them, but in reality, diseases are inevitable. If you don't get them from your parents, you can get them from the world or being exposed to something. It's just you can't ever escape diseases. So.
Can you go back? Which one was it?
Sorry.
We use many habits of mind for this essay as well.
I texted her because I wanted her to make up.
I think that my part was based on engagement, or everybody in the whole essay was based on engagement, because we had to keep reminding us who we were talking to, that we were writing as if we were writing in the newspaper, so we had to address the students and how they would feel, and we just had to reread our stuff to make sure that's what we were doing.
And I felt like we all showed flexibility as well, because I don't think many of us have ever written a newspaper article.
I've never even read about designer babies.
It's going to be flexible to learning new things and taking a stand and just tell me off. And taking a stand, and then writing a newspaper article, that's being flexible. And we had to abstract strawberry DNA, that's something that we've never done.
Yeah, I've never done that before either. And also we got to pick what we talked about, what we wrote about. So that's being flexible too.
Poems and stuff out of our comfort zone a little bit.
And we also really showed creativity as well, because honestly throughout the whole thing, but
it's been a very creative process.
Yeah, specifically about when we did the extracted poem, we could be creative.
I had to go
be creative with it.
Buy some colored pencils. I didn't.
Yeah,
I know.
So honestly, all the habits of mine are showed in our project.
Yeah. Okay, so our biggest contribution.
Oh, so like we said earlier, we split the newspaper up into 3 parts. So each of us wrote a part, and
But we did it together. We split it up, but we would sit together and we did it together. So it's we each contributed a main portion to it, but while also getting feedback from others to make sure it sounded good.
And choosing the titles and what exactly we were talking to.
And the pictures.
Yeah, we just had to think about what's the most important things when it comes to designer babies. Money, of course, because nothing's free.
Yeah,
I would say that's each of our biggest contributions. But then every other little project along the way we did together.
Yeah,
we spent hours in the library getting things done.
Yeah,
we did the Google chat together.
We all did the Google chat. We all put in an equal amount of effort to get this project done.
Yeah. Discuss the feedback you've gotten. Well, first off, we met with you, Miss West Puckett, and we had you look through our essay, and then we'd already planned on meeting with the writing center later that night. So we kind of had you like review it and
See what
and
we
you-
needed to fix.
Yeah, and you gave us feedback.
So we were more prepared for when we did meet with them.
for
Yeah,
the
and I
writing
think that was
center.
very helpful to see what we needed to fix, and then having someone
Revise
help
it,
us
and then revise it again.
revise it. Yeah.
That's what
Mhm.
she's taught us all year, basically, is always go back and revise.
Yeah, and then we went to the writing center, and then they really helped us. Like they walked through everything. Like this sounds good. Maybe I'll change this to this, and they helped us with our conclusion as well. So that was really good. Who gave what feedback? So yeah, so we did all of our revisions. The writing center helped us with that. It was honestly just kind of minor things. I mean, we didn't really have to change too much.
And I think
then,
everybody we approached with this were like totally interested.
Yeah.
yeah, and we posted it on Google Plus, so we're hoping to get feedback from
Yeah, exactly.
from our
Just like when we
from
posted
other
our
people.
extracted poem, a teacher commented and said that she was going to share it with her class. So.
Yeah.
What else would we have done with extra time?
I
Do you
mean,
think?
Just go back. And
yeah, we would just go back. I guess we would have, if we had extra time, I guess we would have slowed down the process a little more.
Yeah, and maybe have like more people review it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be what we would have done.
What kinds of feedback would be most helpful for you at this point? Just to get the okay for the badge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
really. I mean, we're pretty much finished. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last
This
thing.
is the last step of the process.
Which of the many scaffolding assignments has been most useful to you and your group?
Most useful.
Annotations, of course, because we
Oh,
had
yeah.
to submit
yeah.
5 to 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Without
helpful.
annotating those articles,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
never knew what annotations were until
Until this class. I didn't know that you could do it online.
Me either.
yeah.
Like I just thought you always had to do it handwritten.
Which
but
I never
I
did
thought it was-
any of that.
Yeah, it definitely pulls out like main ideas, like because most of the time you're just reading, you don't think, but like when you actually have to highlight something, it pulls out like it makes you realize what is the main idea, what are key points, what is
Yeah.
important, what's not important.
And
Yeah.
all of that made me realize how we have to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
To the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And it was helpful because we actually had to read our articles to pull things from
So
from
they,
it to, for our paper to actually make sense.
so they gave us
So
more
it was-
information on it, so we were more related to it.
Yeah, and I think the poem kind of helped too. Like that kind of just pulled out like the basis of what DNA kind of is.
Yeah.
What is it? What did it say? DNA
The
is
designer of the
is
living
the
world.
designer of
Yeah.
the living world.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool too. And then we described our habits of mind.
But I mean, overall, we expressed every habit of mine throughout this project. I mean, responsibility, persistence, metacognition, everything.
Yeah, and for sure creativity.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, with the poem, you had to be creative, and with our articles, you had to be creative.
Because we had to add pictures that related.
Name, describe, and discuss why you arranged your essay the way you did.
Well, I think we did that one. I don't think
How to build a strong argument.
how did you meet requirements of college level source-based writing?
Practice.
I think we used the paragraph, the sandwich paragraph that
Oh,
you
yeah.
that
Oh,
you
yeah.
taught us beginning of the
And
semester.
I honestly forgot to like go back and make sure I did that until we met with you. And you
Yeah.
reminded me of it, so I went back and changed some things up.
I think that's really like college level, like
Yeah.
that paragraph formatting.
Because you
Yeah.
want to suck in your audience, give them some information, and then end strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like to the point, and then also I think another college thing is like we didn't even realize after each quote you had to go back and explain
Yeah,
it. That
I
seems
didn't know that.
it seems really like dumb that we didn't know
yeah,
that,
it's
but
like obvious. Like
yeah,
obviously, you have
but-
to describe what you're
Because
saying.
we're thinking we already know what it means.
yeah,
and
we
we're
already
not even,
exactly.
Yeah.
We gotta express it to the audience.
Like now that I think about it, everything that I've read that had a quote in it said, in
Yeah.
other words, it means this.
In
So,
other words, yeah.
Yeah.
Always have to explain.
how did you build a strong argument? I feel like we built a strong argument because we always said we need to do this, we need to do that.
And,
Like,
and plus, we chose the
we
most
need to-
important things when writing the paper, like
Yeah.
the money and the
Yeah.
futures. These.
Yeah.
And I think we put like emotion into it too, and I
Yeah.
think that like when you bring emotions into writing, I think that kind of takes a toll on people. Like
Yeah,
they really start thinking about it. It's
Especially
hard.
with like having a child. I mean, there couldn't be
Yeah.
any more intimate relationship like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which what we described that in our last
Mhm.
closing paragraph.
Yeah.
And then what evidence did we use?
We chose quotes from the annotated articles that we did
Mhm.
and pulled that in and explained it, that we had to go back and explain it again,
Yeah.
that we didn't know.
And also going back to the
And all of our
What was it?
articles were from ECU libraries, so that's
also going
reliable
back to the evidence, like when we were writing our essay and like using the quotes from the articles and stuff, we had to just cite it by
last
like-
name.
well, we had to cite it by like
We had to use that form.
yeah, we had to like pull it, be like in according to this article, and then cite it like
Oh,
right
link
there.
it.
Link it.
Link
That's
it.
what I'm talking
Link
about.
the
I
article.
didn't know
Link
how
it
I
to
didn't
do
know
that.
how to do that either.
Yeah, me either. I learned that too this
I think
time
we
around.
learned a lot of information doing stuff like that,
Yeah.
making us better writers and knowing new things about the designer babies.
Yeah.
What other rhetorical strategies did we use? I mean, just
I mean, we like when we met up and stuff. I mean, we got a lot done. We sat there until we finished whatever we started.
And it was definitely, this is a project that definitely took
A lot of time.
A lot of
weeks. Like, this
time,
is not something that
yes.
you could have done in a week,
Oh no.
not even 2 weeks. Like,
yeah. we
because
totally
we had
took
3
up our
weeks,
entire
3 to 4
month.
weeks to do it.
Yeah.
So it definitely took up all that time.
And I really
for
think
sure.
we came out strong on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I kind of like the whole, like, abstracting DNA and doing, like, the make cycles. So, I mean, I would recommend that to someone on their free time. Like,
Yeah.
if you're bored over the summer, I mean,
Yeah,
this
especially
is...
it was really interesting to us because we're all in the health
Yeah.
science field. So
And
Yeah.
I was really like, I never knew like there was like groups out there that did that stuff. Like
I
when we like conference called them, I didn't know like they took time out of their day to.
Like,
Me
it's just
either.
it's meeting new people who have the same interests as
Yeah.
you. So I
Yeah.
found that really, really, really cool.
yeah.
And I enjoyed this
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
this badging pathway a lot
did
more
too.
than I did the having a mind badging.
Yeah, on it
Okay.
because we could pick it. It
And
was
it
very
was
interesting.
more freedom.
Yeah.
More freedom.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, so that was our project.
Hope you like it.
Bye.